News.
If for some reason you feel that we're not following this code,
We want to know about it.
so please contact us on comments@947.co.za.
If you're still not satisfied, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission.
Email bccsa@nabsa.co.za. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
On 947, this is EWN.
Good evening, I'm Dominique Machola. Lobby group My Vote Counts has lost a High Court bid to have the Political Funding Act declared unconstitutional. The court has also dismissed its arguments that the president should not be allowed to determine the limit for private donation and that all donations should be declared. The organization, which has until now had regular success in the courts to challenge the way in which parties are funded, says its aims remains to curb elite influence over the country's politics. Lindsay Deitlinger reports.
With the country's wealthiest families and philanthropists having become common benefactors of political parties, My Vote Counts went to court in February to argue that the original 15 million rand annual limit for donations was excessive and unjustifiable. This week, that limit was officially doubled by the President on the recommendation of Parliament, as well as the threshold for disclosing donations to 200,000 rand. In a judgment by a full bench, the court says there's no merit to the challenge that Parliament has delegated its authority to the President, since he makes the determination on the advice of the National Assembly. While My Vote Counts argued the original figures were arbitrarily determined back in 2018, the court says it doesn't have the jurisdiction to determine whether the public participation process was inadequate. My Vote Counts' Joel Bregman says the organization will continue to litigate to deepen the right of access to information so that the electorate can exercise their voting rights from an informed position. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
A crime intelligence officer who was allegedly promoted to a position she wasn't qualified for says the SA Police Service will be prejudiced if she's not allowed to go back to work. Dineo Mukwele appeared before the Pretoria Magistrates Court today in a bid to have her bail conditions relaxed. Mukwele, along with 6 other senior intelligence officers, are facing charges of fraud and corruption. Thabiso Koba reports.
It's alleged the 6 senior officers colluded to appoint Dineo Mukwele as a brigadier to a highly specialized position within the intelligence division despite her lack of experience. The 30-year-old wants an amendment to the bail condition that prohibits her from entering any SAPS intelligence premises. In an affidavit read by her lawyer, Philo Mahlati, Mukwele says the SA Police Service has not released her from her duties.
Due to the attached bail conditions which prohibit me from accessing my employment station and or the crime intelligence officers of the Republic of South Africa, such suffices as an indirect dismissal of my employment. And I submit that it tramples my employment rights.
The matter resumes on the 8th of September for further oral arguments. Thabiso Koba, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
And Indonesia's press freedom watchdog has instructed police to reopen an investigation into the murder of a journalist. Aditya Warman, the executive director of the online media outlet, was found dead and beaten in a well at his home this month. The watchdog says new evidence suggests his reporting on tin mining had led to his killing. Tin mining, both legal and illegal, has caused extensive environmental damage to the small island, where the metal has been widely extracted for use in global electronics. A fine Saturday in store for Gauteng tomorrow, lows of between 7 and 9 degrees, peaking at highs of between 27 and 30 degrees. Dominique Machola, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High-dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
The show is always up.
Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show as always.
Great show as always. Thanks.
Great show as always.
Great show as always, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful show, Robert. Thank you so much.
It always gives me pleasure to speak to someone who's got such an insight.
I love the introduction.
Hey, what is show Marawa?
Lucas Ibero, glorious chance, which he takes.
All right, let me take Louis in the Val because I do believe, sorry, Shabalala.
This news of Ribeiro is complicating us because not all of us can know the contents of his contract with Sundowns. By now, referring us to the new Diarra ruling gets more and more complicated for a layman like us. So the statement that they released today, they said a lot of words, but actually, it didn't actually have a conclusion of this is what's happening. So we need more clarity on the Ribeiro case.
So what do we read in terms of where you think legally Sundowns are tap dancing with this at the moment? Mandla, Shabalala.
Well, they're simply saying we are entitled to be compensated, correctly compensated by any team that is requires the service of our player. That's all that they're saying.
So if this goes to FIFA, who holds the advantage, the player or the club?
Well, the club in this case, because unless the player comes and says, I've terminated my contract with just cause. Now he has to prove what will be those just cause. And in most cases, the just cause will emanate from non-payment of salaries. Then you are entitled then to leave.
All right.
In this case, I don't see the player having any advantage.
Rob, I think Gymnastics is in good hands with that man at the helm. We know his incredible work that he has done in the football fraternity.
Khumbulani Kongo is my guest. He is the newly appointed CEO of Gymnastics South Africa and is here to unpack the job at hand. As you heard from Deboho, I cannot slide without allowing you to respond to what he's just said now.
I appreciate it, Deboho. Yes, it's quite obvious. We're not going to run away from that. I was born in football, and I was grilled in football. I was marinated in football. So definitely, yeah. Well.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Well, it's been a hugely dramatic day as far as the sport is concerned, with Sundowns winning 7.9 million court battle against MT Sport and also Pitso Mosimane as the head coach back then. We'll try and get more from that story for you tonight. Plenty ahead, though. It's a very busy weekend. Rugby World Cup. The Women's Rugby World Cup, exactly 1 day to go. Commonwealth Games, 335 days to go. 121 days until the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations being staged in Morocco. And also, the countdown is simply on with the 295 days until the groundbreaking FIFA World Cup 2026. It is Marawa Sports Worldwide on a Friday. Proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go! The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
I think we're expecting much of the same. To be honest, we need to give credit to the Aussies. They did quite well. And then obviously their turnover attack cut us up a little bit. So for us, it was just working on our defense this week. And then to answer the second question, it's actually my first test start in 7 years, so yeah, that speaks for itself. I would just like to do my best for the team and get us on the front foot, and hopefully we can do a good job on Saturday. Yeah, definitely. I've been thinking quite a bit this week because of the result last week, and there's a lot of pressure on us. And then for me to come in not starting for 7 years, I've just not try to think about the outside noise too much. Just trying to get my prep right in the week, and then, as I said previously, just to do a proper job. No, definitely. Like. Your mind is a powerful thing, and there were times that I was thinking, like, should I just give up on the Springboks? But I would never be able to do that. So, as you said, it's taken quite a while for me to start again. It's taken 7 years, but then again, you can never take this for granted, because when you get your shot, you need to make it count.
All right, that's the Springbok loose forward Jean-Luc Dupree is set to start his first official test since back in 2018 when he last ran out against England at Ellis Park. And while he featured though in the Boxers season opener against the Barbarians, that match wasn't classified as a test. But right now though, 7 years later, Dupree does return to the starting lineup of the Rugby Championship clash against Australia down in Cape Town tomorrow. Okay, plenty to talk about that. Send us your WhatsApp voice notes. What do you think might happen in that game? A big shift, maybe, possibly, to what happened last week at Ellis Park? You let me know. Plenty as well. Coming up, Orlando Pirates' head coach Abdulsalam Wadu is backing his squad with the full conviction ahead of the MTN8 semi-final second leg against Mamelodi Sundowns. That game happening at the Lucas Masterpieces Moripe Stadium at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And with the tie delicately poised now after the 1-1 draw in the first leg, Wadu does believe, though, that the Buccaneers have got the mentality, the depth, as well as ambition to beat the Brazilians and book their place in the final, where they'll aim to defend the title that they've held now for 3 straight seasons.
The league, the magic of the cups matches. If you want to go through, definitely to go to the final. You cannot just go to Mamelodi Sundowns and to sit. Of course, it will be a very tactical game, for sure. But for them as well, how they will play? Are they going to defend this goal? It's a lot of questions. But for sure, what I can tell you that it will be a fantastic game for the fans. It's a very important event in South Africa, so I hope that the stadium will be packed again and the two teams will play some nice football. That's it.
Oh, what a clash, man. The Pirates coach also confirmed that the right back Dino van Rooyen won't be available for this fixture after being stretchered off in the first half of their 1-0 league win against Stellenbosch at the Orlando Stadium on Wednesday.
Yes, I have an idea, but we don't have the definitive feedback from the medical department. What I can tell you, it's he will not be available, but we don't still know exactly what he has because he needs to pass some exam and to go deep and to know the time of his injury.
Right, that's as far as the Buccaneers are concerned. So Mamelodi Sundowns head coach Miguel Cardoso has also made his intentions pretty clear ahead of the MTN8 semi-final second leg against Orlando Pirates. The Brazilians are going for goals.
Any coach that thinks that managing a draw advantage because you score away and tries to take the game in that way is making a big mistake. So it's not over even in my way of approaching a football game, and for sure also not in the nature of our players and our club. We have a big responsibility, and the responsibility is obviously to make the best possible out of this semi-final, and to make it we need to be aggressive enough to have our moments, to create our moments and to score goals. I believe that we need to score goals if we want to go through, because we also play against a team that can score any moment by the quality of the players that will for sure line up on the other side. What is obviously important is that the teams understand how they can be aggressed, and how we can take offensive actions that can aggress Orlando Pirates, and that's what we're going to do for sure. So these kind of matches are matches that tactically must be very well prepared. Because obviously conceding gives also or takes out the advantage of the goal that we scored away, and scoring just gives you one goal advantage, because if Orlando Pirates scores again any moment, then we get a null and we still need to fight for more. So I think that our approach will be like a normal match. We want to win.
They're going to win. They're going for goals. Cardoso also has made no secret of his ambition to end the club's domestic cup drought. And while the Brazilians have dominated the league with 8 consecutive titles, their recent record in knockout competitions has been less glittery.
Obviously, it's important to win cups because for a club like Mamelodi Sundowns, it's important to be in all the decision moments of all the competitions. Me, myself, of course, and the players, we feel that there's energy for this competition. It's the starting of the season. It opens, obviously, and states a beginning, and everybody likes to give a first step forward, let's say. Brings new energy, brings dynamic. But one of two of the most important teams in South Africa will stay out, and life will continue. Of course, that we don't want that to happen to us, and we're going to approach in a very serious way the match, trying to inspire players to decide the game in the right moments and work with the team so that we have a tactical approach that allows the players to feel comfortable throughout all the match.
Well, sticking with the coach as well, he's addressed the swirling transfer saga head-on, insisting, though, that the club's internal harmony remains pretty much intact despite the noise surrounding several one-way players, and with Lucas Ribeiro Costa escalating his contract termination request to FIFA. The FIFA tribunal, Khuliso Mudau also reportedly seeking an exit after the lack of game time, and Thapelo Maseko airing his frustration on social media. Questions have mounted about the impacts on squad morale.
Well, I think Mamelodi Sundowns is not making any kind of noise around whatever happens. Mamelodi Sundowns is preserving everything that might be happening and keep it inside locker rooms, inside the doors, let's say. The locker room is impossible to be raped. It's impossible to be broken by these kind of things. The locker room is too strong. The values inside the club are too strong so that these kind of events touch whatever. The focus is so strong on becoming better, on working for preparing every match, and the time is so small that the levels of concentration, of course, must be so high that we don't have to relate with what happens around. We have always the philosophy of if someone falls, two should rise. That's how we develop character, how we shape character, and I think that's how has been written the story of Mamelodi Sundowns, by strong characters, by strong values, by strong people, and whatever happens, it's always solved inside doors in the best way possible, and for sure in the right moment, spoken publicly.
Well, the Sekhukhune United head coach Eric Tinkler knows that the stakes are very, very high as the side prepares to overturn a 2-0 deficit against Stellenbosch Football Club in the MTN 8 semi-final second leg at the Piramokaba Stadium. That game kicks off at 6 p.m. tomorrow. So Tinkler is treating the clash like the second half of a 90-minute battle, drawing inspiration, though, from their dramatic 3-2 comeback against TS Galaxy earlier in the tournament. But he's also very, very realistic.
Yeah, obviously, I try and treat it almost like this is the second half of the game and you 2-0 down, exactly what happened against TS Galaxy. So what becomes important, obviously we have to take more risk in attack. We have to be a lot braver on the ball. We have to be more assertive in attack. But you mustn't be stupid. You've got to be clever. You know they're going to look to try and hit you on the break and on the counter attack. Your work ethic has to be really, really high. Your concentration levels has to be very, very high. But you need to be positive to be able to go out there and obviously look to try and get that early goal. As I said, 2-1 lead is never a comfortable position for the team that finds itself in that 2-1 lead position. So as I said, if we can get an early goal, that'll put a lot of pressure on them. And obviously it will motivate us even more to want to go and get the equalizer.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time.
#MSW. Big banks weren't built for small businesses, so we built something better. We made Lula, South Africa's first business-only banking suite. We reimagined banking and funding to give your business more. Like a relationship banker who cares enough to remember your name and access to funding in as little as 24 hours. We're more than a bank. We're Lula. Visit lula.co.za and experience business class banking and funding today. Powered by Access Bank. T's and C's apply.
We don't remember moments for what was said or done. We remember them for how they made us feel. That's the power of presence, of showing up. So when you drive something that shows up too. With LED projector headlights, a panoramic sunroof, a touchscreen to keep your focus forward, and a reverse camera that's always got your back. The Suzuki Grand Vitara isn't just an SUV.
It's a premium experience built for every moment. Visit suzukiauto.co.za to live the grand life.
Babe?
Yeah?
The fridge light finally stopped flickering.
Yeah. I replaced it.
You replaced it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, on your own?
Yep.
You know what that means.
Party! Every excuse is a great one when you've got balloons, bubbles, gift wrap, cards, candles, and dress up.
I'm calling it the Fridge Light Festival!
The Crazy Store. Hey, you never know what you might find to have a good party.
At Lotto Star, we're proud to be the first in SA to offer a dedicated responsible betting program. Need to check in with yourself? Take our self-assessment quiz. Need a break? Choose a cooling off period or our easy self-exclusion option. For help and support, our independent counselors are here 24/7. Lotto Star, your world of live games. Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18. NRGP 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Spring rains are coming, and thanks to Build It, you can get ready to save water. Get a 2,400-litre water tank for $1,949 with a 10-year warranty and a free Tommy Tap. Sounds like a deal you can't miss, right? Plus, spend 500 or more in store and you could win one of 8 Mahindra Bolero maxi trucks. Enter now. Competition and promo ends 6 September. 40 for better. Only at Build It.
Big on performance and now big on savings. Get the iPhone 13 from SA's best network. With sleek edge-to-edge display, advanced dual cameras and an A15 Bionic chip, it's the iPhone you've always wanted, now more affordable than ever. Get yours for just $449 per month on MTN Yellow Plan's core and save a massive 1,080 Rand only while stocks last. Visit an MTN store now and switch to Simple. T's and C's apply. Today we make moves. MTN.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Kumbulani, Kongo, you dressed up here like you're going to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange.
I am. I'm stock exchanging gymnastics.
Firstly, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
How did that come about?
There was a gap. Gymnastics has been for a while now without a CEO. That gap needed to be filled in. And as you will know, that there's few of us that fall in that category of good administrators. Yeah, and the opportunity was there, and grab it both hands.
Was it a difficult process, or did they see the track record that you've had?
It was a difficult transition. It was a difficult interviews process that wanted to go through. Thorough ones, The best candidate came through, Gymnastics needed a new change.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
All right, what a tasty Friday, man. We're looking ahead to a busy weekend coming up. We're going to be heading off to England in just a second. Coach Sways the Brain is standing by to chat to us very briefly. Well, the countdown, as you and I know, is over. The stage has been set and history awaits in Northampton. Now, this Sunday at the hallowed turf of Franklin's Garden, the Springbok women charge into battle at the Rugby World Cup 2025. Now, their opening clash, which is a fiery encounter against the Brazilian team, with a squad brimming, though, with the test-hardened warriors and also battle-tested World Cup experience. South Africa's Daughters of Destiny carry the hopes of a nation ready there to unleash. They certainly are ready to unleash whatever it is that they can give us in the green and gold's power on the global stage. Now, that is why tonight we're honored to be joined by the mastermind behind it all. That's head off, though, to England. And before we go to England, though, let me tell you that we got another, what hell of a leader. And when you know the lady's resume, you would know that Babala Lacha has once again reminded South Africans why she's more than just a powerhouse on the pitch. She's a symbol of pride, purpose and progress. Lacha, who is set to extend her record as the most capped prop in Bok women history at the upcoming Rugby World Cup, says that rugby gave her more than a career. It gave her an identity.
I'd say I started playing rugby by chance. I think the more important question is why did I keep playing? It was purely and simply because I found myself a home. A home in a sense that my physique was accepted in the rugby space. Nobody told me that I'm too muscular. If anything, my physique was like embraced and celebrated. It was okay that I was strong and I wanted to run through everybody. That wasn't strange. And so that's what kept me in the game, because it taught me how to accept myself as well. To accept that I look different. I'm not average by virtue of playing rugby. And that's okay. That's totally okay. Women come in different forms and shapes and sizes, and that's okay. So I kept playing purely because of that, is that it liberated me. Honestly, like I felt empowered. Even the way that I carried myself changed. My voice started changing because I went from being this timid girl who had a bit of a physique, but to a woman who was proud of the way she looked and was proud to own her voice and say, hey, this is how I am, this is who I am. There's nothing more I can give or take from it.
Oh man, what confidence, what history she has, and we wish her, as well as the rest of the team, all the best of luck. Let's head off to England now. Swayze de Brain joins us. He is the head coach there for the Springbok women and how they will be performing in this World Cup. Swayze, thank you so much for your time. I know you're under pressure that side, but we could not wish you everything of the best. How have things been?
Hello, Robert. No, it's fantastic, man. The whole vibe, the World Cup for women's rugby right in Women's Month is just something else, and I'm so blessed to be part of it.
And I mean, the opening clash here, Coach, Brazil awaiting us at Franklin's Garden. How important is it to start the World Cup with a statement performance?
Oh, for sure. No, that's so vital. The same like the men's rugby did against Scotland. Rassie the whole time said Scotland is all we think about. So that's what we did the last week. In fact, the last couple of weeks is just the focus all on Brazil. That's in our minds, and we're not even thinking ahead.
How strong is Brazil? Because I know from a football perspective, you can't touch them. From a rugby women's perspective?
Sorry, I missed the first section of your question there, Robert.
No probs, Swayze. I'm just saying that we all know how good Brazil are as far as the football is concerned, or beach volleyball. But what about the women's game when it comes to rugby?
Look, they've got a couple of good seven-a-side players where they normally beat us in the seven-a-side code. But, we ranked 12 and they ranked 16th. They are the last team in the World Cup and we're number 12. So for the rest, for the other teams, I think it's almost like a minor game. But we take it, we can't underestimate the fact that they're playing, the fact that they're in the World Cup, it just shows their quality. So they run the ball, they're quick, like their soccer, they play an open, fast game. So our job will be to pressure them down and contain them.
As you were waiting, I'm sure you could hear a very, very familiar voice of Babala Lacha, Africa's very, very first female player to turn professional, talking just about many things and also needing a mental switch. So that mental switch, based on what you've just said to me now, Swayze, bears what in mind? Because we've got to finish in the top two. We've got to get into the last round, or the round of 16, as we normally call it, into the qualifiers. For you, that switch that she talks about mentally, do you believe you're at that stage right now?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We had a proper analysing of our pool games. And the last game against the Ferns 15 gave us the sort of the confidence, that we can do it. We can score tries against the best team. We can defend the best team. So, yeah, the mental switch we've made. Our heads are right. we just can't wait now for Sunday, Robert. It's like that typical bicycle under the Christmas tree, and you can only open it Christmas morning, you know. So we all, when the players walk around, they all look ready. You can see the spark in the eyes, and there's a beautiful vibe. So the mental switch that Babalwa referred to, we made that. We're ready.
Oh, I love the analogy that you've just used about the bicycle under the Christmas tree, though, because we've been giving countdowns every day, I think, from the 100-day to just 1 day that is left now. It's a massive platform for South Africa and for South African women's rugby. And I've seen you've picked a squad rich in Test and World Cup experience. I mean, what excites you on a personal level about the group of players?
Man, firstly, the growth. How I started a year ago with my coaches, with them, and just the growth, in all departments, and their ability to learn, and they want to make the country proud. They want to be role models for lots of women in South Africa, and for everyone for that matter. So they feel very responsible that they got to be role models, and they love it. They want to be it, and they want to do it.
The build-up is always important. I know that our captain, Nolusindiso Boy, was injured when you had the last warm-up game down in Cape Town. But, I mean, she's somebody who is battle-hardened, somebody who will even play with a broken limb of some sort. But I'm sure you won't allow her to do that. How fully fit is she now?
Oh, no, she's fine. She's starting. She's our captain. Look, she's played in virtually all the World Cups, and she's experienced. She's a leader. She's a real leader of the pack, and we're very blessed with other good leaders in the team. Like Bibi and Kumisa, and there's a couple of them that's really just good leaders. But the goat, in my opinion, is Cindy Boye.
She's amazing, isn't she? I don't know what it is about her that's given her just that love. And as I said, when people want to watch a talent here, and for those who might not have seen her, Sways, just describe in 30 seconds just what kind of player she is, also what she brings in, the chutzpah that she brings into that team.
I think apart from her physical presence and give us the go forward, she's almost like, the Ibn Etzebet of the team. If someone's got to make that big hit, she can do it for you. And she doesn't talk much. She's that kind of leader. Come, follow me. Let's go. So, and then the rest follow her. So, if you ask me in 30 seconds, I just say inspirational. The players want to play for her, and she wants to serve the team.
I don't want the opposition to listen too carefully, though. So I don't want to put you in a corner so that you give too much away. But from a tactical approach, what kind of rugby do you believe works for the South African group of women to get them to play their best kind of rugby, and what we as fans can expect back home?
Look, firstly, set play they love. They excel in the set play. We've got a brilliant scrum coach and line-out coach, Coach Franzel and Lorien with the scrumming. So they know the set piece is their thing, and they love it. We've really upped the defence. Bafana's doing a sterling job, and we've upped the defence a lot. And then what excites me is the fact that we now suddenly can put phases together. We can score tries from all over. We can keep the ball for 15, 20 phases. So we initially were a physical set play team, and that's what was their DNA. But we've grown, I think, in more of a total team.
What is the most frustrating element that you were not maybe getting right? That you were worried about ahead of the World Cup itself? And do you believe that was worrying you then has been ironed out now?
Yeah, look, the first thing that worried me a year ago was the physical conditioning. And now our conditioner has done an amazing job. All the girls test so well with their test. Their body comp is very good. They're much, much, much fitter. They can fight for longer. They can give pressure for longer. So for me, that was the biggest worry that they've rectified. But the proof will be in the pudding on Sunday. How far did we come, and then after that Italy, and if we can win those two games, it'll be a first ever quarterfinals for our team.
The one thing, Sways, that I was thinking about while driving to the studio is just like thinking to myself, it's amazing how far we've come as a rugby women's nation and how far we've come since that time. I think it was around about 2017. We couldn't field the team due to the poor results that we had. Now, we are staring history right here with our eyes, with the squad of players that you do have. I mean, do you remember back in 2017 and how embarrassing that was that we could not put a squad together?
Yeah, look, I wasn't involved then. I was still with the men's rugby. I can only speak to, from the last exactly a year that I was with them now. But, a lot of the credit must go to SA Rugby and their approach. What Dave Wessels has done as our performance manager is fantastic. We had Francois Davids he's with us now, and we had totally the backup of and the most beautiful speeches and stuff from Mark Alexander, and Rian was at every function. So it means so much for the girls if they see they put their money where their mouths are and they back up. We staying great. Back us, the hotels, the traveling, the fields. It's like really, it feels for me like when I was with the men's Springboks. It's almost the same attention, and it's just fantastic.
And while you talk about that, because what the men's game has done, and you rightfully say that, Swayze, is they've left a legacy. So now, beyond the results, I mean, what message do you hope that this particular campaign sends to young girls, young women back home here in South Africa?
And my wish is that I would love to win as many games as possible, but my wish is that they really not on the field, but off the field, they become role models, and a lot of girls. I saw the under 18 national championships. How we went there to them in South Africa. How those girls are just in awe when they see these players and just want to be around them. Yeah, and young women in South Africa need they need the role models, and that's what I want to achieve. That these girls go back as heroes for young ladies.
Would you say France are the favourites in our group?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, France is 4th in the world ranking, and Italy is 7th, and we're 12th. And Brazil 16, if that's an indicator. But, that on the field, anything can happen, yeah. But France is a definite and a real, they're real contenders. We had a practice run a couple of months against them, and I saw them, they're good. England, the All Blacks, Canada, France, yeah, they all very, very good teams. And then for that matter, Ireland and the USA and Italy. But if we can make the quarters and we top 8, we can start talking in world rugby and women's rugby. We can get more competitive games. So there's a lot of things to aim for. But the very first aim, as I started off, is we need a result on Sunday afternoon against Brazil. Then we can take the next step.
I think South Africans are extremely excited, Swayze, about what's coming up on Sunday. But our listeners here, they've sent me a couple of questions. Are you ready? Let's have a little bit of fun here before I let you go. It's our quick-fire questions.
Okay.
All I need from you is just one word. You ready?
Yes.
One word to describe your team right now.
Passionate.
The player who always lifts the squad's spirits.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Blommy.
The toughest opponent that you expect at this World Cup.
France.
And a song that gets the dressing room fired up.
She'll be coming around the corner, Cindy boy. It's a little song we sing.
I love that remix. No, your singing is brilliant.
Idol.
I know. When you come back with the trophy, we're going to put you under the mic, not on top, under the mic. It's not going to be a wooden microphone. It's going to be the real thing. You're going to lead the charge, and the ladies will join you. So that is a deal between you and myself. So the Springbok women's biggest weapon, defense or attack?
Oh, defense. No.
Defense.
I say so. After this week, we had a brilliant defensive.
All right. And in that singing note, Swayze, the brain disappears. Hey, I think he was looking forward to the next question and he thought, let me drop it. All right, let's leave that one. Sways the brain there. Unfortunate to get cut off. I had two more questions for him, but I think he handled that one very, very well, especially the singing. My goodness, where's he been on Idols all this time?
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
Life's full of moments that need the right support, whether it's a dream vacation, everyday expenses, or surprise costs. So give yourself some credit with a Visa F&B credit card, a life resource that gives you e-bucks, travel perks, interest-free periods, and more. Apply for a Visa F&B credit card online or visit your nearest branch today. Help changes everything. T's, C's, and earn rules apply. Credit is subject to meeting the qualifying criteria. F&B is a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
Dear Journal, day 4602 of trying to be an adult. My doctor asked me how my quality of rest is at the moment. I told him I have two problems. I struggle to sleep at night, but I also struggle to awake at day.
Aggressively realizing your age? Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's simple and like 19 Rand a day, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
What if the car you want is also the car that makes sense? The all-electric Volvo XC40 Recharge. Premium design, now with a practical promise. Guaranteed future value at prime minus 9%. Then you can choose return, keep, or upgrade your Volvo. Available at your nearest dealer. T's and C's apply. Finance is subject to approval. Initiation and monthly service fees apply. Volvo Car Finance, a product of Westbank, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. NCRCP 20.
Live extra at Checkers, SA's #1 value for money supermarket, and save on Oma Auto liquid detergent, 1.5 litre or capsules, 14 or 16 pack, any two for 159 Rand. Parmalat cheddar or Gouda cheese, 850 grams, any two for 239 Rand. And ripe and ready avocados, buy any 2 packs and save 10 Rand. Valid until Sunday at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
Samsung Blue Tag is back at Hershey's. Get amazing deals on your favorite Samsung TVs, appliances, and more. Save a massive 3,500 Rand when you buy a Samsung 459-litre combi fridge for 15,999 or a Samsung 21 kg top loader washer for 9,999. These and other amazing Samsung deals available in store online at Hershey's.co.za. Hershey's, we will save you money.
Choose the best. The new Huawei Pura 80 series. The master of photography. A super sensor with precision zoom. Stay sharp from dawn to dusk with a superior 1-inch ultralighting camera and ultralighting macro telephoto lens. The master of color, enhancing every frame with vibrant color and incredible clarity. Tricky lighting? No problem. Take portraits against the light with every face perfectly illuminated. It's more than a phone. It's a professional studio in your pocket. Go beyond with Huawei Pura 80 series.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Lucas Ivano, glorious chance, which he takes.
Just weeks before the new season, the Brazilian playmaker Lucas Ribeiro terminated his contract with Mamelodi Sundowns on the 1st of August. Mandla Shabalala, the managing director of PM Shabalala Incorporated, he is here to break down the clauses, the implications. Is this a bombshell?
Nah, not really, not a bombshell. Maybe from the player himself, the caliber of the player, unexpected move.
How significant is Lucas Ribeiro's termination of his contract with Sundowns?
Depends on the duration of his contract with Sundowns. Sundowns is a very ambitious club. They still want to achieve.
#MSW. #MSW.
As I said, it's a very busy weekend coming up. Hence, we told our legend for tonight to just stay home, relax. We'll order him a nice cup of coffee while we continue with the show as we look forward to a humdinger of a weekend. on many, many different fronts, though. And one thing that literally lies on tenterhooks right now is the Chan game between Kenya as well as Madagascar. As you know, that Benny McCarthy is the man in charge of the Kenyan side that have done well. It's got a final stage. And they're locked 1-1. It's a penalty shootout. I'll try give you as much as I can give with the result to this. Maybe this might be a decisive penalty they're taking. It goes into the back of the net. So it's tied. It's 3-3. Madagascar and Kenya. So if anything happens, be sure. And I'm sure Bruce will understand as well that we'll share that breaking news with you the minute it does come about. I think the reason why we brought Bruce in, you and I know that the hard courts of New York are calling. The lights of Flushing Meadows are about to burn brighter than ever. And that's the final Grand Slam of the year, the US Open. It is almost here. I mean, from the legends that are chasing glory to the young guns aiming to shock the world, tennis history is ready to be written once again. And tonight we bring you the voice of insight to the man who has lived and breathed the game, a powerhouse in the world of tennis promotion, Bruce Davidson. He joins us live now to break down the battles to come, the storylines that will set the stage, and also who could rise to the occasion under the New York lights. Bruce is on the line. Bruce, thank you so much for your time. Good evening.
Good evening, Robert, and hello to all the listeners.
How excited are you about the US Open?
I think it's going to be a humdinger. You know, if you look at the draw, we obviously realize that Sinner and Alcaraz are going to be firm favourites over there, but there's a bunch of up-and-coming, young, exciting players that could upset the apple cart. The women's draw seems to be more open than ever before, but Inga is back to her old self, Inga Swiatek, and I think Sabalenka is going to obviously try to remain dominant on the hard courts, but it's going to be a very, very interesting 2 weeks.
Just to lay the foundation, though, I mean, what makes the US Open so unique now when you compare it to other Grand Slams?
Well, first of all, it's the richest ever tennis event in history this year. $90 million is the total prize money purse. It's the largest purse in tennis history, $5 million for the singles winners, men and women. And then what makes it very special is, I think, the New York City brashness, the biggest stadium court in the world, the Arthur Ashe Stadium, the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center holds the most spectators of any Grand Slam at one single time. And just that New York loudness, brashness, just makes it a unique Grand Slam. I can't compare it to any other. I've been there multiple times. I've been blessed to have experienced the new Billie Jean King Center, the old one as well. But there's just something magic about it. And also, it's a day and the night sessions. And when they do night sessions, it's almost blockbuster, boxing type, UFC, epic. If you know what I mean. It's just unbelievable.
It's like a Las Vegas of some sort, eh?
Absolutely. And you know, they pack in, you know, nearly 30,000 spectators into that stadium, and they're normally full on the night sessions because of the working public. And boy, oh boy, it must be tough playing in a crowd like that because it becomes quite hectic.
Yeah, talk about hectic. Djokovic versus Alcaraz. I mean, is this still a defining rivalry?
Definitely. Sinner obviously had to withdraw. He was 5-love down in Cincinnati in the final against Alcaraz. He was ill. He wasn't injured. That's one thing we must make clear now. He was ill. So he pulled out of the mixed doubles, this controversial mixed doubles that I'm not too excited about. That's already taken place. But Sinner pulled out of that and has managed to heal. He had his first practice today, and apparently he looked very, very good. He's the best hardcourt player, definitely, on the circuit, and very confident after winning Wimbledon. But, you know, Alcaraz is always going to be a danger man. He's won Cincinnati. He's got unbelievable confidence, and he wants to, you know, stop Sinner. Sinner, remember, was only 1 point away, Robert, from holding all 4 Grand Slams this year. So, you know, I think that's going to be the one we've got to watch, the Sinner versus Alcaraz. But looking at the guys coming in, I mean, there's Byron Shelton, American, at home, doing all sorts of crazy things. Had a father that was really a good player. That could be danger. And then the two players that I think could ruffle some feathers would be Joao Fonesca. We're talking not too much about him, and we should be talking more about him. And then Lerner Teen. These are two people. Just remember those names. They're going to cause some damage going forward.
All right, talk about causing damage. Let me give you a quick score update. I did promise the listeners, though, Madagascar have done the damage against Kenya. So Benny McCarthy's the Kenyan team are out of the Chan tournament. They had to leave it until the penalty shootout and unfortunately made a hash of it right at the end. So Madagascar are through, having beaten Kenya in the penalty shootout. Chatting to Bruce Davidson, and Bruce, as you know, is a tennis analyst and as well as a promoter, just letting us know about some of the favorites as well. The name Danny Medvedev, does that pop in at any stage?
Nah, he's not having a great season, especially on the hard court. Disappointing 3 years ago. He was the best hard court player, definitely going into the US Open when he won it. But he's definitely struggling at the moment. Apparently there's issues more than just his game. Apparently there's a couple of mental issues that he's trying to sort out. So I don't think he's going to. He might go deep into the tournament, but I don't think he's a contender for the title.
And I was excited, though, as you started mentioning the names that we don't mention as often, you know, some of the younger players, qualifiers that come through. I mean, how deeply into the competition, though, Bruce, do you think they can go, or is hardcourt very difficult to call when it comes to the newer generation?
Well, I think that the newer generation are targeting the older generation, and a person like Novak Djokovic, who's going to be playing in New York, but I haven't even mentioned him. He's always a danger man. He can do anything on any particular day, and he loves the hard court. I mean, he's going to be a target for these young kids because they want to go home and say, I beat Djokovic. I mean, in my career, I beat Djokovic. So, you know, those older players are really, really, you know, Zverev, Djokovic, and the likes are always targeted by the young guns. But the young guns are doing very well. I was speaking to Ruan Rulofs, a South African that's coaching one of the top players across in New York. He said the courts are fast this year, but the balls are fluffing up quickly. So that was a move by the sponsors to let them fluff up quickly, which slows the ball speed down and the game down. But, you know, the weather isn't as hot as we expected it. It's averaging between 22 and 26. It might go up to 28. There is a chance of rain on 2 of the days. So that means that this year's tournament is not going to be hot and sweaty like previous years. And you don't have to be as fit in order to last all your matches. So that's going to make a big difference.
Well, as South Africans here, Bruce, I mean, are there any South African players in the main draw or the qualifiers, any players that we could look out for as draw cards or potential winners?
No, nothing, unfortunately. This is a big sad story of South Africa. Lloyd Harris is injured. He went into the qualifying, but he hasn't had great success there. He was hoping to get through into the main draw, and unfortunately that didn't happen. The only one, we got no juniors that have qualified because of their rankings. And then, of course, you know, we're going to put a lot of hope onto Donald Rampetti in the quad wheelchair tennis section, and KG Manjani. We know that they fly the flags high. But it's a very sad situation with tennis in South Africa, bearing in mind that in 1994, we had, I'm just looking at my notes now, 38 players in the main draw,
sure.
Singles and doubles. So, I mean, 1998 is a long time ago, but 38 men and women singles and doubles players are in the main draw, and we haven't got one this year.
Yeah, I mean, that is crazy. I don't even know what a follow-up question is to that. I mean, the state of South African tennis in relation to the US Open is exactly what you've described. Now, I see more of a Wayne Ferreira in the grandstand coaching, as he ably does so well. And my mind just flicks back, you know, to the days of the Wayne Ferreiras of this world, to say we had real championship warriors on the international stage. And for it to come to zero now, Bruce, is there any way that we can turn this around?
Well, you know, I think Tennis South Africa definitely have a plan in action, but they need finance. And I think that's one of the key factors in many of the sporting codes in South Africa. You can't count on government. Government, you know, have so many other priorities. and they need to be a big tournament. You know, everybody's asking me questions about Canadian tennis and why there's such a huge rise in Canadian tennis and so many women and men in the top 100. It's because they've got two very big tournaments, and both of them are men's and women's 1,000, and they generate multi-million rands of profit. And then that money is thrown into the development of the game, same as in Australia, same in France, same in Wimbledon, and all those other countries that host these big tournaments. And those tournaments make big profits. We don't have any of those tournaments. In fact, the tournaments that we do have, which are important for our junior players to play and to get points in South Africa, are actually costly. They actually take Tennis South Africa and put them under, because if they don't have a sponsor, they've got a $2.5 million deficit each tournament. So it is very, very challenging, and I think that, tennis has also been challenged by paddle. Paddle is a booming sport in South Africa. Pickleball has also been introduced. A lot of players leave tennis to go and play those. So yeah, they've got to relook and they've got to regroup, and I think they've got to get almost like a think tank or a workshop session going where everybody can contribute and hopefully grow the game, because people love the game. There's 800,000 tennis players not registered but playing the game. So they should be able to do something, because if you've got 800,000 playing the game according to the statisticians and you've only got 40,000 registered, something's wrong.
I mean, how does the US Open get it right, though? I mean, they continue to grow commercially as well as globally. What's the trick?
Well, they're a Grand Slam. So, number one, everybody wants to be part of a Grand Slam. They're in the world's biggest economy. Their courts, the surface, they don't play that just once a year. Those courts are well used throughout the year. That's a money-making machine, the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. And the other thing, their television audience is so massive. That television deal is so big. It is the biggest sporting event generating money for New York City, number one, and is one of the top three in the USA, including the Super Bowl. So it shows you, that fans come in. I mean, you're talking about 180,000 a day walking into that stadium, and you can't get tickets. It's just people just love the game and they want to be part of it, and they make it very, very razzmatazz. It's loud, it's blast. It's not like Wimbledon where it's prim and proper and very traditional, and it's a party. It's a real brash party. If anybody's been there, they'll know what I'm talking about, and they've just got it right. They really have, especially the television audiences.
Let's have a quick party right now, Bruce. I've got my MSW quickfire questions for you. All I need is one word as far as your answer is concerned. What's your men's favorite player?
Rafael Nadal. Always will be, always has been.
Your favorite women's favorite player, I suppose, for the tournament?
For the tournament, for this tournament, if you're talking this year, I want Alcaraz to win.
Okay.
He's my favorite. And for the women, I think I'm going to have to go with Iga Swiatek.
Which player could cause the biggest upset?
Byron Shelton.
Which veteran could surprise us?
Novak Djokovic.
Night session or day session at the US Open? Which is better?
Night session, for sure.
And also one word to describe the US Open atmosphere.
Brash. And
one word, brash, full stop.
Brash.
Yeah. Now, who serves the biggest entertainment factor outside of tennis? I mean, think of the likes of Nick. That type of personality.
Gael Monfils.
Monfils? Okay.
Unbelievable. Good dancer, good singer, good player. Loves the crowd. The crowd love him.
He needs to dance onto the winning podium one of these days. Great player. I agree. The youngster, though, that has the best chance of being a future Grand Slam champion.
Byron Shelton.
And which South African should fans keep an eye on? I've asked you that. And if you had to bet on one US Open champion, who would it be?
This year?
Yeah.
Carlos Alcaraz.
Bruce Davidson in Johannesburg. Thank you so much, man. Analyst and promoter. I appreciate you, sir. We'll chat soon.
Thank you, Robert. Keep your eye on the ball.
Thank you very, very much indeed.
Evening, Tarop. Tarop, wakhuluma ngoBruce. Ngicabanga uBruce Ramukadi man. Mongaba ne-chance Tarop, wamsendele invite. Akakeze lapha nasizuzwa. Ilegend ukuthi how is he sizokhuluma ngamalanga akudala. Asasiyenzele ibuka lapha ku-Pirates. Great show is always Tarop show.
All right, one thing I can tell you though, hey, who can ever imagine Bruce Davidson reminding us of Bruce Ramokadi? Bruce is always listening to the show. I mean, he's one of the funniest individuals you'll ever come across. But if you're asking for him to come through, most definitely, we'll make a plan. Have a super weekend, everybody. Catch you again on Monday. You can tune in on Marawa Sports Worldwide. Brought to you by Hollywood Bets. Good luck, the box, and good luck to the women.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Play the game again. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. At the same time.